Okay. I have no idea where the chat went. So let me
I
know
guess,
if someone asks something in the chat. Hi.
yeah, nobody asked anything in the chat.
Okay. So yeah, let's start with today's Hyperledger Identus maintainers and contributor call. I think this is going to be a relatively short one. As usual, remember the antitrust policy notice and as well to adhere to the Hyperledger code of conduct. Um, so do we have anyone new in the call today?
Yes, I am new.
Okay, well, welcome. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, so I'm the co-founder of reachcircles.com. So it's basically a website where we are tokenizing the real estate. One of the hardest problems we are dealing with is how to verify the real estate and put the data on chain. And we have built a platform already for doing that. And we have to extend it with the date part of it. So the
Okay,
project is live and we are working towards adding more features and looking for funding to do that.
awesome. Yeah, that looks like a interesting use case. Have you joined it already, the Discord server?
Yes, I joined.
Okay, cool. So anyone else? I think
But there's nobody else new on the call.
no. All right. Okay. So um, yeah. So basically, what we do in these calls is we review a little bit of the status of the project. Sometimes we share updates that are more interesting, other times are not so interesting. So yeah, the content in the call is different. Also, this call is held bi-weekly. So there is another call that we also have at this same time, but in alternating weeks that is more related to uh, less technical, let's say, and more about the adoption of the project and discussing things like use cases and things like that. So maybe next week, if you want to join as well, you will find maybe a little bit of a different type of conversation. Um, so yeah, for today's agenda, have a few quick updates. Topic about good first issues, and then we are going to review the things that we have opening in GitHub. Um, so you already did the introduction. So for updates, the migration of the rest of the repositories is still stuck in legal approval. We are making progress. The thing is that the progress move like a snail. It's very difficult, but it's moving slowly, but it's moving. Other thing is, well, we presented the technical charter. We opened that for comments for a few weeks. Basically, we got a few observations here and there, nothing major. So given that we don't have any other comment about the matter, we are going to move forward with that document as the technical charter for the Hyperledger Identus project. The other thing is we have been added to the Hyperledger DLT landscape. So is um, this website where all the Hyperledger projects are listed, and it's just a matter of visibility. So we we added ourselves into here. So um, basically, it's a website that provides some easy to find information about the project and about what it is and how it relates to other Hyperledger um, projects that are in there. So yeah, we got added into that site, and that is pretty much all the updates that we have for this week. The other topic that I wanted to present today is about the good first issues. So there are some of our repositories that are already listing some of the tickets in there as good first issues. So the idea of these tickets that have that label is that they can be identified by community members as things that they can help us with, well, help the project with. So if someone has a particular interest in one of the components or documentation, maybe you can take a look about tickets that have this label and maybe start a conversation in there if you believe that you can help with that specific task. So any questions about it? Okay, looks like there are no questions. So then I guess we can move to review what do we have in the GitHub issues. So let's start with the cloud agent. We have a bunch of things here. What I will be doing is to look for things that haven't been replied. I just want to be sure that all the tickets have some degree of movement.
Esteban, it's Eric here. This first one
Mhm.
is from me as of just a few hours ago. I just give you the context. The machine on which it was all my agents were running has no capacity anymore, so I decided to move it on another machine. I believe I have kind of recreated everything, but now I cannot run it anymore. It's exactly the same kind of config, and I cannot run it anymore. There's a database problem. I think there are two issues here. It says that the database agent is healthy, but when you go and see the logs, it says critical database doesn't exist. So I think there's a problem here. If it's critical fatal, it should not be healthy. Probably, I'm not too sure, but it's what I would think so. And then why it's not working, it's another matter. So
Eric, sorry,
yeah.
if I may, if you let me interrupt you, sorry.
Sure.
You have been moving the resource, like what did you do? You upgraded the machine to have new resources, or you physically?
No, new machine, totally new machine.
Okay, so there's no chance the volumes are still.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, if someone can just help me during the next few days on this, it would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Is anyone in the team who would like to get this ticket assigned?
I can look into that if you want.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is your?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Next one was opened yesterday by
Yeah,
Read
that's me.
Circles.
Yeah, I
Okay.
started the topic. Yeah, I could not start up the simple thing. I could not just get agent started. So I started the Docker container. Then it said, okay, missing variable. So then I added the variable. And then even then it said the configuration, I think configuration failed. I pasted all the things. I also updated the ticket today. I also put the environment variables in. So I just added the Prism node version. I think you guys had node version and Prism node version. So I renamed later on to Prism node version, but the problem still comes up that you cannot start up the agent.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Yuri is already
Yep,
on
I
it.
will take a look tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. Also, there is the option of using the Prism Sandbox, just in case if you don't want to deal too much with deployment of the agents. You can also go that way. Are you aware of the sandbox?
I saw it, but I did not try it yet. What is that?
Okay. Yeah, so basically the sandbox is something that you can register. It has no cost.
Okay.
It's a service that Tala Thrive is providing. So you only need to have a GitHub account that most likely you have. And what you get here is these two instances. These are cloud agents that are already deployed on the web. So you can interact with these endpoints. So you don't need to deploy your own cloud agent instance. We also have a mediator available. And also this has some very simple browser wallet that runs with the wallet SDK TypeScript. So yeah, if you want to play with the agents and don't want to hassle with the deployment, you can check into this. Yeah, I think Fayad put the link to the sandbox in the chat. So yeah, you can check that as well. And if you have questions, feel free to go to the Discord server and ask in there.
So basically, I can use the sandbox to make all the API calls and all, test it to create DIDs and all that.
Yeah, you can play with it. Basically, all the API calls are available. So you can also go to the documentation, as you can see here that all the endpoints are available to use. So you can play with it.
And the access token?
The access token, once you log in,
Yeah, I see that.
you will find it here. You can copy the token. And yeah, here there is an example of a curl command, just like something easy to try it out.
Understood.
Okay. So let's see. Next one is this one. This was opened by Yuri. Do we need to review this one, Yuri?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's go for the ones that are opened by contributors. There is this one from Mix. But it looks like Javi is already on it.
Yeah, let me give a little bit of context. He wants to start, like he got funds to implement out-of-band connection requests from a holder side. So the holder initiates the connection request, like now, but through the DITCO messages. And yep, he's basically trying to achieve that.
Okay, so he will be contributing this functionality.
Yeah, we first need to understand that, for example, if the connection is automatically accepted when a holder sets up something, then you as an issuer, you are going to go to your issuing UI, right? And you are going to need to select which connection you send it to. And then how do you define a name for something that has been automatically accepted? So the conversation around this is not clear enough. And for now, I don't see a way to really implement it.
Okay, but unless the important thing with this kind of contribution is to basically that start a conversation, figure
Yeah,
it out
totally,
if the
totally.
feature
Yeah,
makes
actually.
sense, and yeah, so no, that's great.
So just one question about that. You mentioned to create a connection. So what is the purpose of that connection? Does that connection need to be exist for the?
Say that again, Fabio.
So I'm just asking, what is the purpose of the connection? Does that you need to create a connection to do whatever you want to do next, or?
Yeah, exactly. So instead of right now, what we do is we go to the API, right? And we generate an out-of-band URL. But then at that point, the agent already has a connection ID. What they want to do is they want to start sending a connection request from the UI directly. And then the agent should automatically accept that connection or have a UI to accept a connection coming from a user. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, but my question is, does that connection needs to exist? Couldn't be connections? So I imagine that this is to issue some credential. Can't we issue a credential without having the connection first?
Yeah, look, man, to be honest, my plan was at some point getting us both involved in the conversation. So yeah, feel free to jump in and organize
Okay,
something.
I'll have a look to the issue also.
Yeah, it was in my schedule, but yeah, step by
Okay,
step,
thank
we
you.
have a lot of things.
Yeah, Fabio, I think we don't support at this moment connectionless. So I think that's the problem right now.
Yeah, so that should be part of the conversation in there. But I'll have a look to the issue to see. But
Okay. So yeah, feel free to continue discussing in the GitHub ticket so everyone can follow the conversation. Next one is two from Fabio. Do we need to discuss this, Fabio?
no, it's just stuff that we need to do when I have time.
Okay. There is one from Pat, but Pat is not in the call, right? I think he's not.
Yep, but it's okay. It's a placeholder to upgrade the version of dependencies. Nothing special.
Okay. There is one from Michael that has been around. Something about licenses not listed in the MD file. I'm not sure how that file is generated. Is it something automatic or?
Yep,
We
it's
can take a look.
generated automatically, so we need to figure out how to fix it.
Okay. Someone who would like to get this ticket assigned?
Not right now.
Okay.
So let's keep it as a placeholder.
I can have a look to that.
Okay. Does what you, Fabio?
Yes.
Let's see. Something about dependencies opened by Yuri.
Oh, it's on me. I will update it.
Okay. Send this to. And the eternal memory leak. Any updates on that matter?
It's our famous ticket. It's here for a long time, and I guess we will close it.
Okay.
Well, that's still an open issue.
Yes, so we should not close it.
So yeah, let's keep it there as a souvenir. No, eventually, probably we will get into the root cause of this. So yeah, let's keep it.
I mean,
I
to
guess.
get to the root cause of that, we need to assign to someone. That would take time to investigate.
Yeah. Any volunteer to get into that task?
I will close it, Esteban.
Okay, yeah, right now it's assigned to Shailesh. But if you want
Okay,
to,
Shailesh will close it. It's not a big deal.
okay. So, yeah, remember just to put a comments on the ticket when you do that. I think this was the last one from the cloud agent. Let's see the mediator. There are a bunch here. So this one from Mix, it looks like has a very long discussion already.
This
between-
one, I would say that this one potentially can be closed because I created him a tool, a byte script that tells
Mhm.
him what is the right version to install for each mediator and each Prism version. So he has already fixed that.
Yeah,
If-
but the problem here is that we have a version of the mediator that is 1.0.0, and that is not correct.
I know, Fabio, but
We cannot remove the tags because the way that the automation is done, I think it would recreate the tag.
So let me explain you what the script does. The script will clone the Atala release process. It will extract the correct version from the Atala release repository and tell the user to install 0.14.2 instead. So they will never, that tool will never tell the user to install 1.0.0.
Okay. So maybe we can close and create a new ticket that we need to clean up the.
Yeah, I would be more than fine, Esteban. You can basically close the ticket as it's solved.
Yeah, I can create a new one with more clear.
Okay, then just for the sake of order, I think it would be better if you close the ticket
Okay.
because you are the one who provided the solution, and just put a comment in there of what was the agreement. Because if I close it, the ticket is going to look like I closed the ticket for no reason. I don't have enough context to put in there. Next one is from Fabio. Is something that we need to look at.
We are not sure if the WebSocket is working properly because the SDKs had some problems and we need to properly test them. So we need time to do that.
Okay. Is a placeholder or something that can be assigned to someone?
Low priority, Esteban, because the SDKs disabled that by default and they are not using WebSocket, so it's not a big problem anymore.
Okay. So I guess we will need to find a way to get Michael in these meetings to help with that thing about priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one is from Michael. Project management issue labels harmonized with Cloud Agent. Well, it's something that Michael has assigned to himself. So
yeah, I think you just want to standardize the tags that we use to be all the same on all the repositories.
Okay, yeah, I think I will be meeting with Michael and yours probably this week, and we can take a look of this on this topic. This is another one from Fabio.
Yeah, I think there are no updates on the other tickets. Okay. We already discussed about everything else.
Yeah, there is other one from Mix that apparently has a long discussion already. So at least it's been.
That's exactly the same issue with 1.0.0 of the mediator. So yeah, Mix needs to maintain his issues better, man, because if not, things will constantly grow. And I'll try to have a nice chat with him and try to tell him to
Okay.
remember to close the issues, because if not, we really need to
Mhm.
invest a lot of
No,
time on
but this one is why we need a stable version. So we need the version 1.0.0, and we are waiting for the migrating the repository before doing that.
Okay.
So just keep I think all the tickets are up to date.
And then Fabio, whenever we move the repository, you will remove the 100 tag.
Yes.
And
then recreate again.
Okay.
With the
I
correct
understand.
code. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, just remember to put the comments in there and close the ticket if you feel like it can be closed. This one is from Michael, is related again to templates for this, so I will reviewing that with him. These others are up to date.
Yeah, most of those
So-
are just good first issues that people can touch. We don't really need it. It's just nice to have if
Mhm.
anyone wants to look to the mediator. And they are well explained, I think.
Okay, yeah, pretty much all of them have that. Well, only this one. New protocol for notifications. Well, is help wanted, Yeah. Okay. It's all the same. Apollo. There is one that is quite a bit old. Assigned to Gonzalo. Gonzalo is in the call. Any update on this that you want to share? I can barely hear you, Gonzalo.
Can you hear me? You cannot hear me?
I can hear you now.
I think this is fixed.
Is fixed. Okay, so can you please just put a comment and close the ticket when you have time?
Yeah, I can check it. I would need to check it.
Okay, thank you. Well, the CK TypeScript. Bunch of tickets from Mix. He's quite active.
Yeah, but Esteban, those are
uh-huh.
tickets that we have reviewed 2 weeks ago. So it means that we checked them 2 weeks ago, we checked them past week, and yeah, I don't see value on checking them again.
But in that case, if there is already a definitive response, please close the tickets. If there is nothing else on our side to do, and close with a comment.
Some of them are just things that we are not going to prioritize now, and they are correct in the status that they are, if that makes sense. But,
Okay.
yeah. And sorry, guys, I need to be leaving to another call. So, yeah, thanks to
Okay.
see you and
No
catch up
problem.
soon.
See you. Okay, so this was already reviewed. KMM, I think this one is empty. Swift. There are two very old tickets, so I labeled this one with the stale label, just to see if someone replies back, and they are still relevant. So
The one is made for me. It is a suggestion, not like an issue. So
okay. Yeah, so in that case, trying to follow the process that we defined it is if the ticket has no comments in 1 month, is labeled as stale, and if there is no comments in 2 months, it's closed.
so let's close.
Okay.
I will close it.
Then we can close this. And this other one is something from Michael, so I will wait to see what Michael replies about that. And I think the last one is about documentation. I reviewed this one. I think there is only one broken link that can be fixed. I labeled that one as a good first issue because it's something that anyone can take a look, or probably I will fix it later. But yeah, basically these are all the things that we have in there. And yeah, I don't have anything else for today. Does anyone has questions, comments, suggestions? Is there anything in the chat?
Nothing in the chat, Esteban.
Esteban, just in terms of efficiency for reviewing those tickets, I mean, I've been working on this for 20 years, so things like this, putting in place of have a kind of set solution. But the way we were working on it was we had 4 levels of tickets: so critical, important, normal, minor. And so it's helping to have these kind of levels of tickets, because then it helps you focus on the right priorities. Critical are priorities, minor are not. It's the first thing. And second, I think when you do all of this review with everyone here, I think you should focus only on in this case, on the critical and the new ones. Because if we always go and see the minor ones, which have very low value, there's not much value into it. So I would suggest you think about it, that trying to get more severity levels on the tickets and process the new ones as they come, and assign severity levels each time there is a new ticket.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that suggestion. Yeah, I mean, we have proper project managers that handle these things. So the thing right now is that we have like 2 systems. So we have a Jira, that is the tool that internally IOG has been using. That one is properly managed with proper project managers that know what they are doing. And this one is for the open source effort. So we are in the process of transitioning. Part of this, one of the things that we are learning about is how to manage things that are not only created internally as a company or organization, but also have the influence from external contributors that are not as tightly in tight communication with the group. So part of this thing is that maturity process. Your suggestion, it will be for sure taken in consideration, especially about focusing on new issues in this call.
Esteban, I mean, in my past, we had like hundreds of clients, and they were logging their tickets. So we were not in control of the tickets as well. It's not community, it's clients, but it's the same problem. And the first thing that you have to do is to put a priority level of the incoming ticket, because the client will always say it's critical for him, but it may be only minor. And the first thing is to reassign the right priority of the ticket from your team's point of view.
Okay. Do you mind if we have a meeting with our PMs and yourselves, maybe to share some
We can
experience?
have a 10 minutes meeting, 15 minutes meeting if you want. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will get that coordinated, because I think those insights is something that we need to have. And I think they are going to be very useful in this transition. So yeah, we will reach out to you. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to you. Anything else?
Is this Atala Prism docs going to move to the Hyperledger at some point?
The repository and the site, technically, yes, it should move. So one of the things is I'm not sure about the hosting. I guess that the site currently is hosted in some sort of IOG owned or paid service. So I think probably that will need to be moved to something that Hyperledger provides. But we haven't asked those questions yet. There is also the thing with the domain that we already have the Identus.io domain that was contributed by John Bauer and the design team. So hopefully eventually we can use that domain for the documentation side. But yeah, eventually we need to move it.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? If there is anything else, well, thank you very much for joining and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.